Hi everyone, it's Michael Anthony Suarez, Mas, cuz he always leaves you wanting more. Today we're going to discuss on 5 essential tips that will help you create a great resume. The first tip is formatting. You want to make sure that you use a white sheet of paper, that your font color is black, that the size is a minimum of 11. You don't want it to be anything smaller than that because you don't want the recruiter to have to be squinting to be able to read what you're writing. Another thing that you can also change up if you don't want to use a traditional Times New Roman font is Arial, Georgia, or Calibri. When it comes to the margins, you do want to use as much as the resume as possible, the sheet of paper, but you want to make sure you stay between the 0.5 margins. Also, the more white space there is on your resume, the better it is for the recruiter to be able to read through your resume. Remember, it only takes 6 seconds for a recruiter to read your resume and then go on to the next. So you want to make sure that it's clean and concise so that it's easy to read. Tip number 2 is your contact information. You want to make sure that this goes at the very top of the resume inside the header. Make sure that your name is big and bold because you want to stand out. Make sure to include your physical address, your phone number, and your email. It is optional if you would like to include your LinkedIn URL. It's also a way to help them connect to your online profile. The third tip is education. This is super important because this is where you get to highlight what you're studying and what you're passionate about. For example, here's my resume. Right under education, you want to put the name of the university that you attend, the city, and the state, followed by the college. So, for example, I am studying communications. So I am with the College of Communications, Arts and Science, followed by the degrees that you are pursuing. You want to make sure that you put the year that you're graduating so that they know when you're expected to graduate. What I love about this educational section, part 2, is that you can also include your study abroad programs. This is a great way to distinguish yourself from other candidates. Another thing that you want to make sure that you are able to do is to distinguish the difference between a study abroad program and an alternative spring break. An alternative spring break is a trip where a group of college students engage in volunteer service versus a study abroad program. It's normally an educational abroad program that's run through the university and allows students to visit another country and get academic credit. Fourth tip is your experience. This is actually the most important section on your resume because it shows what type of work you've done. This is where you can include different internships, whether you were paid or not paid for these internships. This is a good way to add that information about yourself. You want to make sure that these job descriptions are bold and they stand out, and they're followed by 3 to 4 bullet points to describe what your roles and responsibilities were and any great highlights or achievements you did while working there. Tip number 5 is activities and leadership skills. This is my favorite part about the resume because this is where you can express yourself and show the different things that you do for your community. So you can include any community service projects you've worked on. You can include anything that you've done abroad, if you've done anything in a different country during your summers or spring break. This is also a perfect way to introduce any leadership roles that you have done throughout campus with any organizations you've been a part of. This is a great way to show the recruiter of the different things that you do on your off time or things you do during the times that you're not studying or working. Those are the 5 essential tips that will put you on track to building a great resume. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to do a resume. You want to make sure that it's simple, clean, and concise, and it's easy to read. A resume is a way recruiters get to meet a small introduction of who you are. So you want to make sure when you're done with your resume that you show it to different people that you trust in your circle so that they can review it and give you feedback. If you need any help, make sure to contact us here at the NMSI office and we'll be glad to look at your resume and provide feedback.